Welcome to this explainer. Right now, there's a massive structural shift literally ripping through the technology landscape. It's a shift that's going to fundamentally change how we interact with software, how we structure our businesses, and ultimately, how we define our own professional value in the workplace. We are moving out of the era of the AI Copilot and diving headfirst into the era of the autonomous AI agent. Think about this for a second. What if the current AI you use every day is just a stepping stone? It's so easy to look at the chat interfaces we're all constantly using and think, wow, we've reached the peak of this technology. But we really need to shatter the illusion that our current tools are the final destination. Because in reality, software is rapidly evolving from a tool that we simply use into an independent digital teammate that works right alongside us. All right, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the core differences between copilots and agents, taking a peek under the hood at the mechanics, exploring real-world workflows, unpacking the shift in our daily work, and finally, laying out a practical blueprint for you to thrive in this new era. Let's get right into it. Part 1. Copilots versus autonomous agents. I want you to think about your normal daily routine. You probably use tools like ChatGPT, Claude, or Google Gemini, right? You open a tab, type out a prompt, wait for the text, and then you are the one manually copying, pasting, editing, and dragging all that data into an email or a spreadsheet. Honestly, it's exhausting. You're basically acting as the project manager, doing all the manual heavy lifting. The AI, it's just a copilot. It's a highly capable assistant for sure, but one that only responds when spoken to and only handles one isolated task at a time. And the contrast between the two is absolutely crucial. We are actively moving away from passive copilots that require constant, step-by-step prompting and heading straight toward active agents. You see, an agent doesn't just sit there twiddling its thumbs waiting for your next prompt. No way. You give it a high-level objective, and it independently breaks that goal down into a multi-step project plan and just goes out and executes the whole shebang. Which brings us to Section 2, the mechanics of an agent. Let's peel back the curtain a bit. To really grasp why agents are structurally different, try thinking of it this way. If a traditional large language model is just a highly knowledgeable brain, an AI agent is that exact same brain, but now it's equipped with its very own memory, a project checklist, and a software passport. It uses this passport to become an active execution engine across the web rather than just a text generator. Let's see how this actually builds into a real workflow. An agent operates in a continuous loop across 3 main layers. First up is memory. It uses short and long-term vector databases, kind of like giant digital filing cabinets, to remember past iterations. Second is planning, which is all about breaking down those massive complex goals. And third is tool integration. This is where it uses APIs to safely navigate the live web and talk directly to cloud databases. Now, this combination leads to a seriously fascinating capability. If a standard AI writes some bad code, well, it stays broken until you step in and point it out. But an agent, it actually self-corrects. When it encounters a problem, it doesn't stop and ask you what to do. It reads the error log, modifies its own code, and runs it again in an isolated testing environment until it works perfectly. And it does all of that before ever presenting the final result to you. Pretty wild, right? Moving on to Section 3, real-world autonomous workflows. You might be thinking this sounds like science fiction, but it's really not years away. Enterprise adoption is completely exploding right now. Major organizations are scaling way past those cute little chat experiments into massive active deployments using platforms like Salesforce Agentforce, Sierra AI, and Google's enterprise AI platforms. These systems are building autonomous workflows across entirely different business ecosystems at a pace that's just incredible to watch. To really ground this concept in reality, let's look at enterprise customer support. A traditional copilot helps a human draft a polite email response, but an agent workflow built on something like Sierra AI pulls a customer's purchase history, securely checks shipping APIs for delays, issues a refund automatically based on company policy, and emails the client with absolutely zero human intervention. Or think about back office operations. Instead of a human spending hours cleaning up spreadsheets, an agent just connects to internal databases and generates structured financial dashboards for leadership overnight while you sleep. All right, Section 4, the shift in daily work. What does this mean for us? To build true career longevity in this coming decade, we all need a pretty massive mindset shift. You have to transition from being a technical operator, like a musician playing a single instrument, to becoming a systems orchestrator, acting as the conductor managing the entire orchestra. The premium skill in the workforce isn't just typing a clever text prompt anymore. It's really about understanding business systems architecture. Because these agents can perform predictable actions cheaper and way faster, the baseline for digital work is fundamentally changing. If your current role is focused entirely on routine tasks, stuff like moving data around, basic formatting, or programmatic cold outreach, the demand for those specific tasks is going to drop sharply as they get handed over to automation. But here is the crucial pivot you need to make. New premium skills are rapidly jumping straight to the top of the priority list. Your unique human value is shifting heavily toward the quality control of AI output, objective critical thinking, and overarching governance, rather than actually generating all that raw output yourself. And, that leads us to a really reassuring reality. While an agent can synthesize a ton of information and flawlessly execute a workflow, it fundamentally lacks emotional intelligence and an authentic human perspective. An agent can analyze a spreadsheet all day long, for sure, but it absolutely cannot navigate a delicate negotiation with a key partner or truly grasp the cultural nuances of a brand new market. That right there, that is your distinct advantage. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, the blueprint for the agentic era. So how do we actually adapt to all this? Well, here is a highly actionable blueprint. First, master workflow automation. Start learning tools like Zapier, Make, NA10, or Copilot Studio. Understanding how APIs connect is essentially the new spreadsheet skill. Second, sharpen your core human skills. Double down on deep strategy and complex decision-making. And third, enhance your communication and creativity. Bringing authentic storytelling and building genuine face-to-face human relationships will remain absolutely irreplaceable. The question is no longer if AI will change your job, but really how quickly you can adapt to that change. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. What repetitive, time-consuming task in your daily workflow would you hand over to an autonomous AI agent tomorrow if you could? Take a hard look at your routines and start planning your personal shift from operator to orchestrator today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.